Today on my channel planner, friends, let's decorate my classic happy planner, which I'm using as a goal planner. I use it for writing. I use it for my channel. I did some research on setting intentions for a new month. So today is Monday the 4th. This will drop on Wednesday. So we're a little bit into the month, but you know what? I need to work on my monthly intentions. So I thought I'd offer some tips and some ideas to make this month as good as we can possibly make it. So pull up a cup of something, get yourself comfy, and join me, friends. Please stay tuned. Hello, planner friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm One Crafty Dolo. I'm so glad you're with me today. Thank you. Thank you for taking time and spending it here with me. Alrighty, well, August is upon us, and I am a little late to the table, if you will, but you know what? It happens. I'm not criticizing myself. I'm just embracing this moment, and I really wanted to give this video thought. I'm a former professor. I love teaching, and I love researching, and so I thought today we could talk about setting intentions for a new month. I think that would be really lovely for me, and hopefully it will inspire you as well. So I love this planner. True confession, it took me until May to really enjoy it. But now that I'm fully in. So like May, June, July, I just had fun and really leaned into washi, stickers, deco. You don't need a whole flip through. Although I love how some of these layouts turned out. They're really, if I say so myself, they came out really pretty. I need this creative space, it turns out. Didn't know it, but I do. And I haven't done this yet, and nor have I done anything in here yet. So as I said, it's Monday. I'll drop this Wednesday. This is the spot where I plan my videos, and if you can look here, you can see how many times I whited out. So I try not to plan too far in advance. Now I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm actually taking the pages out. Usually I just keep them in, but I wanted to add something different today. I generally decorate in monthly themes, so it's all stickers, all washi or inking or whatever. Today, what I thought we could do is that we could just do some inking in addition to the rest. I just want to add in lots of pops of color. So I'm going to put down my silicone mat here. Whoops, I've got my notes here. Any good professor has notes, right? Okay, so I have my mat here, which is from scrapbook.com. And I just thought I'd break it out here, and yeah, we're going to use that today. Now, I'm not sure which ink color I'm using. Let me show you what I've got here. This is a very old book called Seasonal Flowers. So what I did is I went into my little stash here, which isn't as big as you might think as far as stickers go. There's plenty, but it could be worse. And I found this section here with a lot of pretty summer colors. Aren't they pretty? And they're just sitting here waiting to be used. And I thought, well, gee, look at that. And so I thought we could use these. Then I did break out my Mojo Jojo summer boxes in rainbow shapes. I'm not sure if we need them, if we'll use them, but they're here, and I'm going to put them to the side here. So then I grabbed some Distress Oxide. I've got some green, some pink, because what I did is I looked at the color scheme and I was just trying to figure out, what I wanted. It's kind of a combination, isn't it? You've got the fluorescent pinkish, you've got the yellows, you've got plenty of green, and I was looking at washi. Now I did get this new, new to me. I don't think it's not a new release. This is from Simply Gilded. It's got rose gold foiling. It's like I think desert ombre or something like that. It's really, really pretty. So why don't we dive in? I've got my applicators. I've just got to decide what ink to use, and yeah, let's have some fun, friends. So if you're new, you're welcome to join my growing community. If you're returning, thank you so much for the gift of your time, your presence. Goodness knows I appreciate you. I'm actually leaning less towards the pink ink and more towards the either the green or the mustard seed. I really love Distress Oxide inks. I think they just blend well. They're easy to apply. I think I'll use this kind of smaller head here. These you can pick up. I have an Amazon list. You can pick them up there. I think I made 34 cents off of it or something like that. I'm not trying to sell you things. Please know that. What I'm trying to do is put everything I use in just one easy place where you can find it. And you know what? I'm a little disappointed in craft stores these days. I'm looking for some independent stores to go to and order from, because a lot of the larger stores, yeah. Anyway, so let's get in here, shall we? Okay, so I always think about setting goals or what I want to accomplish for the month. Now, if that sounds like you, well, I can relate to you. But I don't always think about my living intentionally. And what do I mean by that? It's to this month. All right, true confession. My mother is ill and it's awful. It's just awful and sad. And I'm lucky I'm not crying on here, but it's a lot. And it got me thinking about how my mother taught us, how she wants us to live our lives with purpose, with meaning. My mother, in many ways, I feel was like a pioneer. She was into nutrition. Like, people are all about what their kids are eating now and this and that. And my mother was ahead of the curve. Quite frankly, she was ahead of the curve. We didn't get sugar cereals. And so she would want us to live, she wants us to live, present tense, with intent, and to know that we matter, and not just to make your life a series of tasks. And that's what really got me thinking about this. So I ended up Googling, and I'm a little annoyed because when you Google, all you get now are AI suggestions. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to link the article I used below. I dug you have to dig down now to get away from the AI stuff to find actual articles to read, and I did. So I'm going to link that below, because the article talked about, setting intentions and so forth, and gave some really good ideas, and I will cite it in the comments here if you want to look it up. Okay, that's just my nerd academic girl self in there, right? Incidentally, if you're new, you're welcome to join my growing community. We have a lovely, lovely group of people here. If you're returning, thank you so much. Especially at a difficult time, I appreciate you more than you know. Now, I have this washi here, and the question is, how or do I want to use it? And you know what? I don't know that it actually matches. let me see here. I've got this washi, and I also have this washi, which may be better suited, to be honest with you. As much as I love this, no, I don't think it really is going to work, oddly enough. I think we're going to go with something like this, especially to contrast here. Okay, let's see here. I'm just looking at these and looking at that. How about these two? I think we can use these two, friends. Alrighty. So, look, new intentions, new month, and so forth. And how do we create intentions so that we're not just task-driven constantly? I don't want to be just a taskmaster. I want to enjoy my life. I want to live a bit here. So how do we do that? And how do we, for lack of a better word, I know it's come to mean something not so great. How do we curate our month? But I don't mean in a fake social media way. I mean in a way to lift us up. Now, since my mom's ill, clearly I'm not, this isn't the best time in my life, clearly. And so how then do I need to be more mindful about what's going on and trying to, be as well as I can, because quite frankly, I owe her that. I really feel I owe her that. So I'm going to change this angle a little bit if I can. No, I don't want to rip anything up. I'm glad I used the yellow, though. I can tell you that. Okay, there we go. That's better. First off, the first tip that the article says, and I thought this was good, okay, and especially hard at this moment, but be happy with right now, right? Be happy with right now. Now, clearly, I don't know how to be happy at this moment. I'm being honest with you. But I also know that we recently moved. My son is about to embark on something pretty exciting for him in his career. And as sad as I get in the daily life here, I also know that my mom wouldn't want me to be miserable. She wouldn't want that. So I'm trying to say, okay, where can I grab happiness? And this morning, talking to my son, who's a young adult, saying, hey, let's talk about how you use her example in your own life. And he liked that. My son has the best description of my mom. He calls her delightful. And I think that is just perfect. My mother is delightful. But be happy now. How do we be happy in the tough times? This is going to be a hard month for all of us. I'm telling you right now. So what I'm going to do, and it really ties in with the second point, is do what inspires joy, not what you think will make you happy. And that really gave me pause for a moment when I read it, and I thought, wow, that's actually pretty powerful. Do what inspires joy, not what you think will make you happy. Now, full confession, I am an overthinker. I'm good at it. And that, of course, leads to perfectionism and anxiety. And I'm not embarrassed to share that with you because we're all bloody human, right? But what about this month? Since I know it's going to be a difficult month, if I set about with little things that I know will help me along the way. For example, this morning I'm drinking, as usual, a cup of hot tea. Okay, maybe I'm drinking several cups of hot tea this morning. But to be still, to sit down, I am an introvert. And so being still and having time to myself is not a punishment. It's actually kind of a good thing for me. So how can I go forward with that? How do I navigate that? So what I'm doing is, for example, part of it is looking at big picture and saying, okay, what will, in long term, short term, but what brings me joy? So this month, of all months, I am going to work on taking the best care of myself possible. I think I get annoyed. Okay, I know I get annoyed that I have to schedule self-care, that I have to put a habit tracker in my pocket planner to remind me that, hey, do this, do that, do your yoga, do your prayers. But I do, because it's just, especially now, I need those moments. I need to be extra kind to myself. I have a theory and a saying, and it's not mine. I don't know who said it, but I've picked up on the idea that little things matter, and they do. So I'm going to treat myself to some little things. Okay, there's a particular food truck that's coming to town this week, and I like food trucks well enough. When I was in Philadelphia, that was a way of life, right? And so this particular food truck, I'm going to go, and I'm going to grab something for lunch one day. It's a splurge, but it's something that I need for me. So let me ask you, what will bring you joy? Will eating fish and chips from a food truck bring me joy? You know what? It's a short-term thing, but it might actually bolster my spirits this week. Will going to the library, I'm going to a talk An author is going to be at the library giving us talk about her latest book, and I'm going to do that. In fact, I'm sorry, I'm pulling this up. I also saw that they're going to have a session on junk journaling, and I thought, ooh, so I'm going to go and attend that as well. You see what I mean? I'm working things into my schedule right now that are going to help me cope and live while all this is going on. Does that make sense, friends? Sorry about that. I got a phone call, so I finished the rest while I was talking. So let's take a peek at some of these. They're so doggone pretty. I really love them. Yes, every summer has a story. Let's start with that. Some good, some bad, and so forth. All right. Anyway, I want you to think about, and if you have to make a list in one of your planners, do me a favor and do that, because I want you to find something today that will give you joy. And actually, I almost want to put this one maybe down here. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I'm just thinking a minute here, sorry. I just would say, think about what's going to bring you little bits of everyday joy, as I like to say, and think about how you can incorporate those into this month to make your summer better, okay? That would be something I would strongly suggest. The next point that the article mentions, okay, is about health, or it mentions in, I don't know if it's the next point, but it says, practice saying no. I love that. And I think that's something we all could use sometimes, that we forget. We're so busy doing this, that, the next thing. We got to do this for this one, that for that one. I think I might move this actually. And the question becomes, no, let's leave it. Let's leave it. The question becomes, like, how do you, what do you, when do you, right? No, the power of no. It's genuine, it's real, it's important, and yeah, it's something that we don't think about, but I think we should. And no, I can't lift it, it's stuck, okay. And so that's something I wanted to share today, is the power of no. And I've become pretty good at that actually in recent years. But it takes a lot sometimes. We feel that we have to do this for this person and that for that person. And there we are, and we're doing all the things. And then what's left at the end of that for you? All right, especially if you are going through something, yeah. What about healthy habits? Because in any given day, week, month, it's very easy to forget things. Now, I talked about scheduling self-care. But one of the things, I'm forcing myself to do this, just so you know, I am forcing myself to do it. I'm going to put this, no, I'll put it over here. Is that I want to, how do I say it? I'm really engaging. I'm always cooking, I'm always baking, but I'm engaging with it a little differently this month. And what I mean by that is I'm really back to trying a new recipe every week, a healthy recipe, because I know that in times of stress, I don't want to eat. Do you? I bet you don't either. And so rather than neglect myself, I'm going to work on healthy habits. And this week's recipe, if you're interested, is vegetarian fried rice. I've never made fried rice at home. I always would get it out. And so I bought all the ingredients, I planned it out. I just think that it'll be a lot of fun. So that's something I want to do this time. So those are the type of things to do. Practice saying no. Don't take on things you don't want to out of just because you feel obligated. But also, on the other side, say yes to yourself. Say yes to taking care of yourself. Say yes to being present for you, your feelings, etc., etc. I think this is really, really important. And I would suggest that instead of running all over the place and doing everything for everybody, what if, and I understand a lot of people, August, if you have children, they're going back to school. That's a lot, right? It's just a lot. I don't think that's going to work there. So I'm just going to put it back here for now. All right. It was an idea. Sometimes the ideas work, sometimes they don't. Anyway, so those are some suggestions there. I just was thinking about it and I thought, well, gee, this could be something to keep in mind, like this list. Now, when I talk about, I want to bring up something important, healthy habits and so forth. You're entitled, like when I said that I don't like to eat when I'm stressed, that's true. But I also know that if I want to eat during those times, sure, give me a bag of potato chips, right? Potato chips are definitely a weakness for me. So how do I counteract that? And how do I cut everything out? No, I don't. I don't want to cut everything out. I think that would be foolish. So what do? I have this book here. I think there's stuff in here we can use too. What do I do then? So how about this? You're not going to eat granola and vegetables all the time. You're not going to exercise every day. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. And rather than getting down on yourself, these are pretty. These might work. What if you, here we go, these. What if you take a day and you just say, okay, for me, I'll watch some Real Housewives. I mean, that's pretty, it's not, that's not exactly healthy, right? Watching these crazy women do stuff. Or I'll just say, okay, I bake a lot, so I will find stuff for myself that, to make that'll bring me joy in those moments, etc., etc. What I'm trying to say is that you can do all these things while you're taking care of yourself without feeling like you've missed out on everything. I think that's kind of important in the scheme of it, just saying. And I do think that for all of us, it's important to be healthy, yes, but sometimes you're going to backslide. So create a day where you can do that. The other thing, okay, is when you're working your way through the month, you're working with intent, you're trying, you're doing things. What about your emotional wellness? And speaking for right now, my emotional wellness is really having a tough time, needless to say. So you know what I'm doing a lot of? Journaling. I am journaling like nobody's business, and it's helping me. I'm spending extra time in my prayer journal. I'm doing all kinds of things to make it at least a little bit better, so I don't feel like I've missed X, Y, and Z and that I'm just in a pit all the time, because that's easy to get into. I'm looking for my corrector tape. I probably should have put this to cover that, but alas, I did not. So we're gonna just do this. So the question becomes then, we're gonna have this intentional month, and you know what? I'll show you my monthly, kind of goal sheet, which I don't often fill out, but I will fill this out and show you this month in my community page. I'm going to put these pages back into my planner. So I just grabbed the Summer Boxes 2.0 from Mojo Jojo Plans. I see she just released her autumn boxes. They look good. I could either do this in the hot pink to go along with that, which would probably look good. I thought she had yellow in here too, or I could do the yellow. Oof, I keep hitting my stand here. I apologize, friends. I actually kind of want to do whichever one I pick. I'm going to think, oh, the other one could have worked. I'm going to pick the pink just because of the washi tape. So we're going to take this one because it has lines. I believe it'll fit here. Yeah, it does. And so let me think here a moment about so I have to put tasks in here, but also about my goals, which again, I will be doing this a little differently. Usually it's inspo and so forth, but yeah. Okay, emotional wellness. So before I do this, let's go back. Try to be happy with right now. I can't say I am, certainly not with my mom being ill. So then what do? You pivot and say, okay, I need to focus on little bits of everyday happiness to get me through this tumultuous time, right? And in that, do what brings you joy versus what you think will make you happy. So just instead of planning tasks all the time, let's infuse joy into this process. Practice saying no. I'm good at that. I've gotten much better. So I'm going to do that. Take care, healthy, good habits. Another thing that they wrote that I didn't mention, and I thought this was interesting, it said breathe instead of scream. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a screamer. Like, it wouldn't occur to me to scream over things. So that kind of was like, okay, whatever. Not my thing, to be honest with you. So I just thought that was kind of weird, but I didn't, yeah. But breathe. So that's part of healthy habits, I guess, because again, that's not something I would have thought of. Good habits, recipes. What about your emotional wellness, etc.? These are all important. So again, this is an old seasonal flower sticker book. I used one item from my summer boxes, and I just used a little bit from this Happy Illustrations. Now, incidentally, you saw I have two of these. I had this one, loved it, found this one on Mercari really inexpensive, and I've been buying older sticker books on Mercari because they're so, some of them are, A, it's a bargain, and B, I'm using them, and I think they're fun. I like this. If I say so myself, it's really bright and cheerful. I like it. I'm going to pause a minute. I'm going to start writing some things in and giving thought to this process so that it's not just tasks. Okay, friends, so let me show you what I mean about really thinking and mindful living and so forth. So here, instead of it all being do this, do this, do this, do this, let's step back and find our why again. And you don't have to be going through a rough time to feel like you really need to lean into purpose and joy and why. So for me, creating brings me joy. So that's what I want to do with you this week. That's what we're doing today is I'm sharing the joy of creating with you. I'm enjoying it. It brings me so much. You matter. You matter to me. You lift me up. And when I'm down, this channel helps me immeasurably. So please know that. So I want to share and focus on the joy of creating. If it's not perfect, it's fine. I do deal with perfectionism, so I'm trying not to do that. I want to expand my creative circle for me. And that's not only interacting with you and your kindness and so forth, but it's also this class I'm going to take this week. I'm going to meet new people. As an introvert, that's not always my easiest thing to do. It's so funny. If you put me in a classroom or teaching at a museum or at a library or giving a talk or a presentation, I nail it. I'm not being arrogant. I'm just telling you that is a strong suit of mine. Put me in a group where I don't know people and I have to interact and I'm like, oh my God, no, please no. So I'm pushing myself. It will bring me joy to interact with other people who are creative. So I put here, take classes. I will take this class and I'm going to look around maybe for some online classes also because part of this is I need to nurture me. And I love to learn. So anything I can learn, one of the things I'm giving thought to going forward is, I have to fix this. I just saw it. Talk about perfectionism, right? I need to think about another hobby. I have a sewing machine that I'm not using. So I'm looking at eyeing the sewing machine and saying, what can I do with that? So that's something I've started to look at patterns and I may go look at fabric, etc., and look for sewing classes and then new projects for August. So that's my overarching why. And here I want to teach as I am about intentions, right? So that's what we're doing today. And I'm just putting in some tasks underneath. On Wednesday, I want to work in my creative journals, create and play. I'll film, but I just want to have fun with it. And I'm also giving myself some downtime. That's going to be catching up on stupid Real Housewives maybe and eating whatever. I didn't put my food truck in here, fish and chips, but that's part of it. I like to focus on my church life and my faith life. So church equals strength and joy. That's something else that I'm in a new place, new church, new people. Scriptures, share and uplift, video for Sunday, little bits of joy to share. And that has to come from my heart. I can't always plan it. I may say, well, I'm going to work on this or discuss that, but it has to come from my heart. So that's what I've got for this week. I love how it turned out. So this month we're adding ink into this space. And I got to tell you, I'm here for it. So I will link this article below. I would love to know your intentions for this month. And yeah, let's grow and share together. And I appreciate your good wishes, and my family appreciates your good wishes at this pretty difficult time. Thanks so much for being here, friends, and thank you so much for lifting me up. Have a blessed day now. Bye now.